A lot of you guys out there might need to feel like your iron swing and your driver swing are the same, and you're probably going to get great results. But when it comes to the reality, the driver swing and the iron swing are completely different. What's up, guys? It's your favorite Kiwi coach, and give me 6 months of your time, and I'll give you the best golf swing of your life. So welcome back to the channel. In this particular video, we're going to be doing another client before and after video. This one's going to be a special one because we're going to be doing a driver before and after video, which we haven't done too many on this channel. So if you're interested in learning about the driver, you want to learn some of the checkpoints and see this before and after, well, let's go ahead and get to the video. But before we get into this video, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Kiwi Golf Japan. If you're too busy to come out to lessons or you just can't make it to our locations, Kiwi Golf Japan is the membership site for you. With over 150 plus videos of golf instruction, you can find pretty much anything you want on that membership site to work on your golf game in a virtual setting. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check the link down below. Other than that, let's get into the video. So like I said in the intro, this particular before and after is going to be with the driver. So I think it's going to be really interesting for you guys out there trying to learn about the driver. So let's go ahead and take a look at the before swing and the after swing first. We'll play it through, and then after that, we're going to come back and I'll discuss exactly what we're going to be talking about in this particular before and after video. So here's the before swing. All right, and here's the after swing. Okay. So let's take some time and talk about what we're going to be discussing in this particular video. One of the first topics I want to talk about is going to just be the overall difference between the iron swing and the driver swing. Once we get through that section, then we're going to go ahead and start taking a look at this particular client swing. We're going to be taking a look at the takeaway section, P3, P4, P5, P6, and then P6.5. So there's a lot of positions we're going to be taking a look at. So if you're interested in all this, make sure to stay tuned and let's start talking about what are the differences between the iron and driver swing. So I've heard plenty of instructors on YouTube say that the driver and the iron swing can be the same, and I'm not going to argue that when it comes to feeling. A lot of you guys out there might need to feel like your iron swing and your driver swing are the same, and you're probably going to get great results. But when it comes to the reality, the driver swing and the iron swing are completely different, and the main reason why is because the tool that you're using as well as how you're actually hitting the shot is very, very different. If you take a look at the driver here, we're going to find that the driver typically has a lot flatter plane that you're swinging on than an iron, and that is because the lie angle of the club is a lot flatter, and that is also because the club is a lot longer. Hence, just because of that, the swing should be completely different. Also, if you take a look at what we're hitting off of a tee, right? For the most part, unless you're hitting driver off the deck, but for the most part, we're hitting off a tee as well. So if we're going to have the same type of downward angle attack with driver than we are with the irons, for the most part, you're probably going to hit a tempura, or if you come in too steep, you might even top the ball. But the main thing is, and the main idea, the driver swing should be hit more so with an ascending blow. The plane of the swing is going to be overall a lot flatter. Hence, that means that a lot of the checkpoints with the driver swing is going to be different than the iron swing in reality. However, as a feeling, again, I don't want to discourage you guys. If you're feeling like you're swinging like an iron and you're hitting your driver really good, don't try to change that, right? Whatever you're getting great results, don't change it. But in reality, they are different. So let's go ahead and take a look at position 2. So let's go take a look at the before swing first and go to position 2. So now with the driver swing, one of the main things that you're going to find throughout the whole swing is it's typically flatter, right? So the position 2 is slightly more inside than an iron swing. Position 3 is slightly more inside. The club shaft is slightly flatter. Like, all of that is true. However, this before swing, everything was pretty much too much overdone, right? It was too flat. It was too far inside. And you can see that at this before swing at position 2. So if we go highlight the hand position relative to the body, we can see that it's right in the middle of the shoe. That is going to be way too far behind for the hands at position 2. If we go take the after swing up to position 2, this is going to be a lot closer to where you want to be at this particular point. As we can see, we're slightly outside the toe line. For my personal preference, that's what I like, but even if you're kind of on the toe line or just slightly behind the toes, that's not really a big issue as well. But you definitely don't want to be towards the middle of the foot like this player was in the before swing. Now, even though the overall swing is flatter at position 2, the club head should still be very close to the hands at position 2. And it's hard to see because the video or the frame kind of cuts out, but the club head would be very far behind the hands in the before swing, and this is something you don't want to do. Whenever you get the club shaft very far behind the hands, it's going to have to work back towards the hands, and typically that means you're going to get very crossed at the top, or you might really steepen the club shaft in transition. So I'm a huge advocate of trying to get the club head, if anything, slightly outside the hands is okay at position 2, but definitely at least inside the hands is really more so my particular preference. And you can quite easily see that right here when we take a look at position 2 in the after swing. So he's doing a great job in the after. All right, let's go take him up to P2.5. So P2.5 is typically a few clicks after P2. And really the checkpoints that we're looking for is going to be exactly what the after swing is doing. So the first thing is hand position, right? So if I draw a line straight down, notice how the hands are pretty much right in line with the toe. For me, that's kind of my ideal preference for most clubs. Now, if you wanted to be a little bit more inside of that, like maybe towards the middle of the foot or slightly ahead of the middle of the foot, that's okay with me. But me, ideally, I like to see everything slightly on top of the plane on the backswing versus inside. And that's just my personal preference, but there is a range, and that's kind of the range you should follow. If we take a look at the before swing, we can see that the hands were very far inside, right? So behind the heel at this particular point. So this is way too far inside, way too flat. And even though we're trying to hit a driver and we're trying to have a flatter swing plane and all that good stuff, this is still way overdone. Now, next thing we're checking for is going to be the club shaft pitch, right? We like to see it running through the forearm is our ideal preference at P2.5. As you can see in the before, it's nowhere near the forearm, right? Because his hands are so far inside and he's pronated so much. This is not where we want to be. So the after swing is looking a lot better, and this would be a great model for a lot of you guys trying to copy it. As we move to position 3, let's start going over kind of hand position at P3. So the after swing over here is actually really close to what I like to see. So typically you're going to find most people with driver at position 3 really close to that right shoulder or that trail shoulder. That's pretty much where you should be, and it's a little bit different than the iron swing, which is more so the right pack. Even buttons of the shirt is kind of okay range with irons, but driver you want to be a little bit flatter than that. So I like to see right around the shoulder, and this is pretty much where he is in the after swing. All right, now compared to the before swing, however, the before swing is very far behind the shoulders, right? So this would be way too flat at this particular point, and something that you don't want to do at this point in the golf swing. The next thing we would like to take a look at is going to be the club shaft pitch. So this is another thing that's going to be slightly flatter than the iron swing. So you can see in the after swing, he's right around 45 degrees with that club shaft pitch there. That's going to be a pretty good range. I find anywhere from like 40 to 50 degrees is a pretty acceptable range with driver, which again is flatter than the irons, which is 35-40. But this is pretty good right here. And if we go take a look at the after, I think he was pretty close. So yeah, he was right around 52 degrees. So a little bit too flat for my liking, but really in the after swing, the club shaft was, yes, a little bit off at this point, but mainly the main issue was the hands were way too far behind the body. All right, so as we start to approach the top of the swing, we're gonna see in the after, the hands continue to go behind the body, and then the club shaft and the club head start to move towards the bed, or towards the head, excuse me, which is getting him into that cross the line position. If you go take a look at the after, the arms are much more in front of the body here, but still far enough behind for driver, right? So still flatter than the iron swing. And then we can also see that the club shaft is now in line with the hands, or pretty much almost covered with the hands, which is my ideal preference for the club shaft at the top of the swing. Now, if you go draw a line from the hand straight down, this is more so what you should be looking for with driver swing. Notice how the hands are slightly behind the heels. This is exactly what you want. If we go take a look at the after swing, it's a little bit too far overdone for my particular preference, and that would be too far behind, even though we're hitting a driver. All right, so now the result of the better backswing, we're gonna see a completely different transition move, and I want you to really look closely at the upper body tilts. The comparison between the two is really drastically different. And then from right around position 6-ish to the ball, the way that they move the club shaft down and up is really different between the two swings. So we're gonna highlight that as well. But let's go take a look at kind of the upper body movement in transition. So if we watch the before swing here, as he starts to come down, one of the things you're gonna notice is the right shoulder drops really, really quickly. And by the time we get to this position here, which is right around, P5.5, the shoulders are almost level at this point. So if I were to go draw an angle real quick, we can see that this angle right here is right around 81 degrees. It's 9 degrees away from being level at P5.5. Now, obviously, yes, we're trying to hit up with the driver, right? We don't want to hit down on the ball, but that doesn't mean that the shoulders have to be level at this particular point in the golf swing. We should still have a decent amount of left side lateral bend at this point, but yes, at this point, we also should be moving towards the right shoulder dropping. That's absolutely true. I don't want you guys to get confused there, but we don't want to move towards it as rapidly as this player was doing in and the before swing. Let's go take a look at the after swing and see a little bit of a better model. So if we take a look at the after swing, now let's go take a look at the shoulder as he starts to come down, and we're going to go to P5.5, and we're seeing a much more inclined shoulder line, right? Or he has a little bit more left side lateral bend. So he's right around 69 degrees, which is a lot better than before. So this is more so the range that I find that a lot of good drivers are around, kind of in the high 60 range. This is a lot flatter than an iron swing by far, because again, we are trying to hit it up on the golf ball, but 81 degrees is way too early to have that type of shoulder axis at this particular point in the golf swing. You're going to hit a lot of shots thin unless you just ulnar deviate like crazy, which foreshadows what we're about to talk about. All right, so that's it for you guys on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Let me give you a quick summary and some takeaway points for you. The driver swing and the iron swing in reality is absolutely different. The plane of the swing is a lot flatter, and then the overall how you're trying to hit the golf ball is a lot different, right? You're trying to hit more so of an ascending blow with the driver. Iron swing is more so of a downward blow. So because of this, what we have to do is in setup as well as throughout the swing definitely has to be in reality different to the iron swing. Now I don't want to detract from you guys out there that feel like your iron swing and driver swing are the same. If you feel that and you're hitting your driver swing great, don't worry about what I'm about to say. Maybe turn this video off. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you do that, but turn the video off and ignore what I'm about to say. But for everyone else out there, I want you guys to rewatch this video a few times, go through the checkpoints that we described, look at the before swing, because that's probably a good resemblance of what a lot of you guys do, and then look at the after swing as well and try to model that. Use our how much and when framework, and then if you can't do it yourself, give me 6 months of your time. I'll give you the best golf swing of your life. That stands true. Check out our lessons down below. Check out that link. Support the channel by signing up for the membership so you can watch this whole video. It really does help us support this YouTube channel. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.